When the market gets wild, only one man rides it, the Trading Cowboy.
Boots on the floor, screen lights glow. Car like an up and roll, get it up, let's go. I'm the Trading Cowboy, stocks are my thing, and Q on the dashboard, hear that bell ring. Bear flags, bull flags, I rope and I brand. This could be the best 8 seconds ever hit this land. Ride those candles, ride that run, long it to the highs, yeah, chase that sun. Short it to the lows when the tide starts to set. This could be the best 8 seconds, yeah, yeehaw. I'm the Trading Cowboy, giddy up, catch that momentum, boy. Charts look wild, I just grin. One more trade, let the rodeo begin.
What is up, guys? Trading Cowboy in the tack room, coming at you live. What is going on, fellas? Good to see each and every one of you here. Take just a few minutes to recap. Wow, what a crazy move, guys, huh? I mean, look at that drop. I hope y'all got to ride some of that down. I tried to fight it all morning. Time to hop on here, eat a little lunch, make a little money. Come on. Nice retest of the bottom right there. Maybe we get a nice little push back up now. Hey, Zero Dawn, yeah. I hope I'm the man, the myth, the legend. Thanks for coming down. Hopefully we can get a few good trades in today, huh? Man, I fought that thing hard all morning trying to get it to bounce. It never would bounce. I should have just wrote it down. How's your trading day going so far? Nice little bull flag playing out right there. Nice small one. A little late to the party. Beautiful push back up. Finally time for a little bit of lunch though. Yeah, I kept my stop losses too tight. Some instances got wicked out when shorting. Yeah, I mean, I kept getting wicked out trying to go long, so I feel you. Man, I just couldn't wrap my head around that big drop. Just kept coming, kept coming. Then back here, the last hour or so, those quick wicks were a little too much. Passed a couple evals on them, but man, really struggled. Hopefully now we can get a little more action, get a little more clear market direction. It was a nice bounce off the low there. Nice little bull flag inversion right here. You know, if we can get through these 60s, may go test that 82 maybe, get a push above it, but There's the push. Instant rejection off that while ago. I think this blue line I got while ago, guys, was kind of the lows from 10:30 to 11:54. I just left it on there to see what kind of resistance we got. Once we got below it, we had a nice little drop. Rejected kind of right off of it again, which was kind of also these highs. Kind of wicked through this 58 area. See if we can get a little pullback and keep going higher. Show you all the 5-minute right there. That 5-minute really shows you how crazy the morning got, huh? I mean, really just that huge drop. And then just a lot of consolidation right here, just chopping around. There's the 15 kind of showing that 815 area, 817 area is holding for right now. Kind of watch that and see. We got about 5 minutes left on this 15-minute. If we can hold it up here and get a push, if we can get through this 865 area, which is a pivot point. Yeah, so Zero's On says the trend lines have been playing out well, but some of the breakouts to the upside seem to consistently fail to go higher on bounces. Yeah, and that's where it just got me. I mean, everything we've been used to the last couple days, nice little bounce, nice little V recoveries, just didn't happen today, and just ate my lunch for the most part. So finally had to shut off all my fundeds, lock them out. May wait a couple days to trade those till I get my head back right again, but got one we're working on right here, so we'll see what we can do with it. Kind of like this little push back here. Kind of I don't know if we can get any more lines on here. I don't like too many lines, so bear with me a minute. Maybe if we draw from this high to this one, take this one off. Yeah, today is the day to make you second guess your strategy for sure, for sure. Kept a lot of, some real tight, but, I'd go in a little heavy and make, several $100s and then get out, then go in small and then, give all of it back just instantly. So I think I ended up losing about 300 or 400 on several funded, so just locked them out. So see there again, we had that nice pump. Look at that, rip right back down. Look at that. I'd have bought that first one any day of the week, any other time. Should have bought that second one, I guess. Wow, 805 right back up to 840s. $12.29. I mean, kind of on the 15. Switch back over here. I mean, you can kind of see we're playing out that little flag maybe. I mean, we were playing right here. We got below. Kind of doing it again. This one was right in here a while ago. What are you thinking, Zero Dawn? Stay out? Go short? Pump right back up. They're trying to get this 15 to close up here. There's the 1 hour. Kind of the 4 hour right here. Yeah, I mean, we have that little. We have a line at 810, which it kind of respected pretty good. Kind of did the same thing several days ago. Maybe this is a turnaround point, but man, with the 20, 40 point swings, it's hard to stay consistent for sure. I like the little push down this one started. The 5 still tells me not to do anything though. See, we retraced. Any other day of the week, that 830 would be our support. I'm gonna try one right there. Got a $200 stop right there. Just gonna see if we can target these 842s. See if we can just get a little move up to that. I'm gonna move this down just below that other wick right there. About a 17 point stop. The swings are brutal today, yeah, for sure. See if we can catch this little 13 points. I really thought that 830 area was going to hold for a little bit. Kind of wicked down and wicked right back to it. So there's the 21. There's our push. All right, not a bad little trade to start off. 260, maybe a little over. Just targeted that shoulder right there on the basis that this second wick kind of wicked through here, pulled right back to that 30 area. Right back down, so can't really trust a whole lot, but nice little trade to start the session. Eat a little lunch today, got a little chicken, some other stuff, maybe a little kale. Eating a little healthy today. Try to do every day. What'd y'all think of that little trade? Was that a little swing, a little too fast? Probably a little too volatile. Can't expect much out of the market right now, so kind of feel like a 1-to-1 risk is too risky, but today you kind of had to have like a 1-to-3. Kind of the opposite. All right, there's our push. It kind of retested that 30 area, found a little support, pushed right back up. Rejected here off these highs right here. I just drew this off of those highs. If we can get over that, I got wicked out on the 5 minute at 10:30 today, the downside with a push up. Then just watched it nosedive after my stop loss was hit. Yeah. You know, we played a short for, oh shoot, I don't know, 30, 40 points, got out, waited to find a good support area, and then started just trying to long it from then on. And 300 points later, we realized, hey, this isn't going to work. So definitely fought the trend, that's for sure. We're trying to get back over this. I'd like to see a little nicer push. I'd like to see the 21 back up here too. So still not making a higher high. There's a new 5. It was starting to look pretty decent, but the way that previous one closed leaves me a little doubt. I don't know that this is really a bull flag as low as we are. Nice push right there. Real indecisive. I don't like a no bottom wick on that candle there on the 1 minute. The 5's trying to get above the 14 right now. Kind of see right there. Starting to form some wicks up. I kind of like that action. See if that what that 21 holds. 21 kind of bounced. There's a new candle. See if we can get a fast wick through. I'm going to try one right there, guys. Just going to target these highs up here. Stops below this. I'll bring it into profit pretty fast if we get a pretty good push. Let's go ahead and shoot for those up there, but I'll go ahead and bring it into break even. Up about 8 points right now. Want it just to keep pushing real fast right here. Want it to wick above these wicks. There we go. Now I want it to push right through those top ones. Try to go hit those 71 area. I'm going to bring this up just a little bit. So we're guaranteed 10 points. We're still pushing. I'm going to go ahead and take that. Well, let's see if it hits. I'll leave it right there. There's our push. Come on, there you go. Hey, that's a good trade right there. Let's go. My strategy is very similar to yours, so I can understand why you're wanting to buy into the market earlier. But after seeing the market get backhanded to the downside, I had to watch the trades. Yeah, I agree 100% right there. I mean, it didn't just... It backhanded me to the downside, much less the market, so... But hey, we just pulled off a nice little trade right there, about 18, 19 points. So going in pretty small. I was just hoping we could wick through that. I was hoping we wicked through that 71. It ripped right through that 81. So getting a little reversal here now. Let's see if it pulls back. Come on, guys. That's 2 good trades right there within just a few minutes. So still playing real careful, real tight. Yeah, I wasn't sure of those wicks. I like these top wicks because it tested and it kept slowly testing higher right here. And then it showed me that that 21 was showing support. And then that previous trade, you know, we showed that the 30 was support. So I was thinking, okay, well, I have that 840s and I have that 830 below me. So I'd had about a 15-point stop, which may have been too much for that trade, but I knew if I had it below this, I kind of had 2 chances. I may have could have added back into it one time if I needed to, but I really liked that we had, you know, 5 candles here that were above the 21 each time, and then these wicks grew on top. So a lot of people show this as resistance. I see it as it keeps testing. Those bulls are stepping in, and we're fixing to get that pump. It didn't play out like that this morning, though, Zero Dawn. That's for sure. I'm going to try to eat a little lunch, too, so if y'all hear me smacking, tell me to shut up. Maybe setting up for another little bull flag right here. It'd be nice if it just kept going higher. We kind of finally got a V recovery, so that 5 minute just changed. So I think maybe if we can get back to that 14, may try along there and see if it holds, and just put my stop maybe back down here at the 21. But let's see if it gets over to the 61 area. Yeah, Zero Dawn. Yeah, he said, appreciate you explaining your view on the trade. I was curious. Yeah, I mean, that's what this channel's all about, guys. I mean, I want to hear y'all's input. I'm going to continually tell you my input, tell you what I think I saw, and then y'all can kind of tell me, hey, you weren't even close, or hey, I never thought of that. That's kind of what I'm hoping when we can all do this. We all ride together here, so. Might could have rode that bull flag for about 10 points, but it really didn't push. 1 minute's closing here. There again on the 5, it kind of really looked kind of juicy. It did go down and almost retest that 14 and push back over it. I'd like to just see us get some continuation and get this 14 to cross back over the 21. Now we're getting to play out a little bit better, so. You can kind of see what I'm talking about right here. I really just want that to curl. We're above the 21 now. That 14 starting to kind of curl up. Nice push on this 5-minute candle, so about 30 points. What EMAs do you heavily focus on? So yeah, right here, I mean, I have the 14 and the 21. That's all I have. I think the VWAP's somewhere around here. The VWAP's way up here. So that's the 3 I have. I have the 200 EMA that I really focus on as far as changeovers and stuff. I don't know if we can see that. We probably can't see that anywhere after that huge drop. There's the 200 on the 1 hour. So you can kind of see we rejected it, finally got over it, made a pretty good pump. But once we got over it this morning, we went back up and retested the 200 and then really dropped. So on an hourly, that would have been the perfect play, especially with options and stuff. The way I use options, I use that 200 and 400. And then, yeah, and then on Trading, which is my main go-to 100%, I've got the 21 EMA in purple. And that's what I use most days. The 21 is all you need. Today you needed all of them, and a hope and a prayer. I like to really see the 14 and 21, cross over, the 14 be above the 21, to know we're long, and then vice versa, to know we're short. So. Fifteen's fixing to close right here. Trying to get back above this little bearish action right here. So I'd like to see this 15 actually push down just a little bit first and make a wick to the bottom, and then maybe find a little support. Maybe go back and test the 80s. Maybe too far, but our 21's way down here at the 70s, so yeah, that's awesome, Zero Dawn. I'm glad, man. I kind of really feel good that we're kind of on the same page there then. So, and that's just something that I've learned over time. Um, Mainly doing options and stuff like that is kind of where I got into the 200 and 400 and looking at the longer time frame, trying to find my support lines and stuff, but kind of use it as a market structure and then carry it over into the future side. So kind of a little dangerous trade right here. If we can get it to push, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try right there at the 905s. Stop below that wick. We're just gonna target this 25 area. Maybe a little short of that, but 915 looks like a pretty good struggle, but we keep pulling back up to this 905. So I'm just going to see if we can get a little pop. If not, I may manually exit a little bit earlier, but just got that stop there in case it flushes real hard and fast. Kind of thought that 15 was kind of setting up to be done for a second. Is the only reason it kind of had that push down. Kind of thought it was going to go to the 80s like I talked about, and then it started pushing back up, but now it looks like we may get that flush, so we'll just see how it plays out. There's the little push, 5-6 points real fast, right back down. Want it to work a little faster, so there's our 915. So there's 10 points. Let's see if we can push through that. I'm going to bring my stop up to the bottom of that wick there. So now I'm only risking about 5 points. Had 10 there for a second. Don't really want to stop at break even. Let's see if that 905 continues to hold. I'm going to pull right back down. Let's try this again. I have the 9 EMA on my chart as well due to the market likes to push the downside after touching it, vice versa. If it touches and bounces to the upside. Yeah, you know, I always use the 21 and I let it wick through it. And I really think, I mean, you're onto something for sure, because that 21, I use it as and let it wick through it, but it actually goes through and it touches the 9 and the 14 a lot and uses that as better resistance. So I think you're definitely onto something right there. I'm going to move these stops down below this. I'm going to give it a little bit more room. I think we're done though. But yeah, I think that 9 and 14, it definitely touches those a lot more than some of the other action. So you're right. We're getting that push really right there, guys, on the, got stopped out right there, but we're getting that push back to the 80s just like I liked. like I wanted, like I should have waited for. Um, Lost about 300, a little over 300 on that trade, but we're still alive. See, I don't know that wick through the 21 right there. Um, yeah, so it wicked through the 21 right there and kind of went a hair below the 14. So did it touch your 9 right there, zeroed on? Was that kind of the 9 right there, maybe? See how on my 1 minute it kind of wicked through and now it's pushing right back up to it. I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's anything or not. May try to grab one off these 90s if it comes back to it a little bit. It's a little good push. Sorry, I was on the wrong one. I was trying to look at that, the 9 on the 1 minute, so... Let's see if we can push. Got one set there, but see if we can push these highs right here. Getting some of our money back. There's back to 905s. See if it'll take one off there if it pulls back a hair. Still going to keep pushing, so it kind of pierced through the 9, so probably a lot closer than my 21 though, right? Got one left. Guaranteed 10. Okay, it took it right there, so. Alright, got a little swap. Got it back in a little bit more, so. Really wanted to see this previous candle take that wick, but as soon as it didn't, I just jumped in. I tried to get it right at the top of that 88, but it put me in at 90. Rode one to 905 and one to 914. And kind of see what where's that at? I don't like having them on here just because I get wicked out, but kind of see that right there. This was the winning trade here. Had one right here, 829. Rode it to 842, 13 points. Here was our other support. Got in at 843. Rode it to 71. So 28 points. Bought this here again at this shelf. Added into it at the bottom of here to see if it wicked through. Got stopped out here, so we lost 905. Oh, let's see, 18, 25. Lost about $600 there. Bought two right at this shelf here when this found support. Got in at 91. Sold one at 904 for 13 and one at 915. So for 25. So made it right back. Slower trend days, the 9 EMA helps my sentiment direction of the candles. Do you wait for it a lot to come down and touch the 9 before you say you're long? Do you wait for it to pull back there and touch it to try to enter long again, or vice versa? If you're short, do you wait for it to come up and touch it that way? That's kind of what I do with my 21, but it usually wicks through it a lot. So I'm sure your 9 is a lot closer. See this wick here, back here? It really wicked down through it, but then it pushed right back above it. So a lot of times I wait for that wick, but I don't know how big it's going to be. Probably if I had the 9 on here, it'd probably be a lot closer, I bet. With the 5, I really feel like we got to have a little pullback. I mean, we do have a wick right here. I like that. And it almost had that, it almost top of that previous. So that was a pretty good pull, but that 908 probably. At 10:32, the 1 minute on the 9 EMA touched and rejected to the downside. Okay, so kind of same thing. You know, me and Greg played that. Let me switch over here. I'm guessing your 10:32 candle is my 9:32 candle. So kind of the same thing. We had this trend line drawn, kind of showing if we broke below it, and it came down here and closed below, just like we had talked about on his channel. It came up and retested. I kind of thought it was going to be a bigger retest, but yeah, if you look at that, I mean, it kind of hit my 21 as well right there. So I wonder if they were crossing over right there. Then yeah, then it just got the caboose. Had the nice little push up. On the 5. I think that line, that blue line I have right there is when I drew some of the lows a while ago. Yeah, that's just off these lows a while ago. Kind of crazy how now it's kind of rejecting off of it, but yeah, Zero Dawn. I mean, it really sounds like we trade a lot the same. So I really like that. I really like seeing traders that trade like me. So if they see what I see, or if they don't see something, they can speak up. And I like a lot of the other guys too that show something just a little bit different. So probably would have been in this trade long if this candle had a push down first. I'd have loved to see it go to about 9:15 and then pop back to the 9:18 first. So not a player in this one yet, guys. Oh, yep. That's why I'm not a player in that yet, guys. Look at that. And a push right back up. Wow. We'll try one right there. Kind of scary. Don't follow this. I'm going to bring it right into profit right now. If it stops it out real fast, it stops it out. But see if we can get that continuation up. Nope, took it right out. If it'll bounce off the 21, I'll try one more time maybe. The 9 and 21 did cross. I just entered early and got wicked out, keeping my stop loss too tight. I should have moved my stop loss to 20 points instead of 12 points. Yeah, man, I hear that. I mean, me and Greg had some earlier on the stream this morning at open, and yeah, probably about that same time. I mean, hit one where I was playing micros with him because that's what he plays, so I switched over to that, and I think I had 8 or 10 of them, and it wigged me out by I think a quarter point. Kind of sat there for about 10 seconds and then ripped up like 40 points, and that would have been a really nice trade if I'd have just been a hairs longer. But you gotta, there's times you need to respect those stop losses, guys. So you know, nothing else zeroed on. At least you respected your stop loss. I mean, it's better to be wishing you were in a trade than wishing you weren't, for sure. So Wanted to try a long there, but the 5 still kind of has me convinced we got a little lower. I mean, the 5 retested half and then pushed right back down. Smaller time frame says we could just get a little pump up, but that pump's probably only going to be, it's probably a little late, but maybe that 918, 920 area. So let's let this one close and see what it does after that. See if we get that little push down. If we can close up there and come retest this 910, 908 area. If it don't push too high. Exactly, that wick took my soul, especially, yeah, man. And that's why I fought it after that. I think it was revenge after that. So I kept trying to revenge it and revenge it and revenge it. And I'm going to try one right there, guys. Stop below. I'm just going to target this top right here. So not a lot of room, but maybe we can get this 930 area back. If we're going to get that push up. Kind of found a little support there. The 5 still looks too bad. I mean, 5 still telling me not to be long. Still a pretty new candle though. Fast pull right back up to it. Let's see if we can get that push. Nope, right back down. Another little push down. Can we pop back up above that 14? I'm going to move this to the bottom of this wick now. We're pushing a little bit. Still don't feel comfortable with the long right here. Yeah, I know for sure, Zero Dawn. Yeah, I think I served 2 tours in NQ today for sure. I'm going to add one right there and see if we can get this quick push. If not, it'll stop me out right here. See if I can get one there and one up here maybe. Nope. Back to the downside for a minute. Told you that 5 minute told me not to do that. About a minute and a half left on it. I mean, look at it. It clearly told me, Trading Cowboy, don't do this. You're going to get bucked off. Especially after we rejected on this little trend line from earlier. Lower high, lower high. If it stays above the 21, I may try again though. Who knows? I don't know if we can get that push or not. I'll be a player at 905 maybe if it pushes back up. See if we can get that 50-second push we're all talking about. No push really. Just a push back down. Wick through that wick one more time. See if it pulls back up. No, just straight downside. There was the 21. Don't know if it'll respect it at all. There's a new candle. Maybe grab one at the 890s. Is that going to be a shelf for us? Maybe. Nice little push maybe. Oh yeah, wasn't gold crazy? I watched some of the guys trade silver and oh my gosh. Those guys are my heroes. That was pretty volatile, so for sure. I'm going to keep this one down here and just see how long this will ride out. See if we can get a nice little push back over this 31 area. I kind of think if we could keep going, kind of think we could see the 40s maybe. I don't know if we can get that much out of it, but I'm going to keep all this all the way down here. May come down to wick us back out, but silver is pure nightmare fuel when it pulls. Yeah, I'm telling you. You can be a hero or zero. I played silver and gold a little bit whenever I was in some pretty heavy drawdown, and kind of one of those things where I'd get even or get even worse. Kind of my theory here, guys, is we had that wick. We came back up. If it stops me out down here, it stops me out, but kind of hoping we'd just get above this 21 and push back through these highs. We're just going to give it a little time if it don't stop us out and see if it plays out. But still set it in profit in case we get one of those fast wicks back down like 2 minutes ago. Yeah, just no follow through, huh? Yeah, Zero Dawn said, I don't touch silver. The spread's horrible when the market starts wigging out. Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple accounts where I just entered and it automatically stopped the whole account because I was in that much drawdown and the spread was that bad. So really having a hard time getting back through those 905s, 910s. So up about 300 bucks right here, but really want to just hold out and see if we get that push up or if we're going to continue back to the downside. So I usually would move it to the bottom of that previous wick, but this candle just wicked it right out. So all right, here's our little pullback we like. If we weren't in the trade, we'd be trying to go in here. I feel like I have a better chance with a lot of the trading. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've tried it with a couple of evals, and let's just say those evals didn't last long at all. Even the micro silver is crazy to me, but and we're going to come right back down. But gave it a really good try. Probably should have took that little $300 trade, took it off, but if we're not in a trade, we're wishing we were, just so everybody could see. So or everybody always wants you in a trade. So the 21 and the 14 are getting closer to cross back over, so maybe we get a little push down through the 75s. That's kind of maybe our little support area. This 5 minute just opened up. 15's about halfway through. You can kind of see our 15 was kind of the perfect situation on the higher time frame. Big green boner candle. Kind of got our cross of death here. This one didn't clear this high. So you probably could have entered in this 907 for a short, stop above your 30s, and got a good push down. But just see how this plays out right here. That hourly close a while ago. Don't like that we have the wick at the top, but we kind of want to see if this 878 area is going to be our support. So maybe we got to wick through it just a hair. If we wick through it a little bit, I may be a player just to see if it'll do a little quick pull or not. Seems the range. Oh, yeah. And the range is terrible for me whenever I get in that situation, I think. That's definitely when I get in a lot of trouble. Definitely when I get in a bunch of trouble. Nice little fast wick down to the bottom. Maybe a buyer at the 55s. If it holds it, we're going to have some continuation. Little move there. I think this is still a continuation to the downside. If it gets above the 55 right there and stays, I may try a little long there, but after that big drop, we need to be a little careful. There's our 15 right through that pivot point at 863. Our 50 is going to hold. Doesn't really look like it. Alright, I'm in at the 50s. See if we can get this little push. May get jerked right back down, but in a little heavy, so try to trail this a little. I like the way it just kind of sat there for a second, but nice push. Out right there. So I rode it from 50 to 68, 18 points. Kind of wicked through that pivot point more than I liked. On the 5 minute or the 15 minute. Kind of just to grab the knife at the bottom play, honestly. See, I was kind of expecting that 64 to hold. It dropped like 17 points past that, so really indecisive right there, I think. Nice push back up. The 5-minute open and just push right back straight to it. So no, not even a little wick down. Kind of thinking maybe a wick to the 64 before the push, but yeah, look at that push. Got out a little too late. Was in at the 50s a while ago. Rode it to 68, I think, but nice little push back up now. Nice little reverse on the 5-minute after the bounce. Yeah, Zero Dawn says the volatility is bringing it today. Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, you look at that, you think we're going up and down and we're getting a lot of real good moves, but then you look at the 5 and realize we're just Chop City, right? I don't know if I can make this any smaller and make us a little. Oh my, what did I do? Watch out, guys. I mean, that's all we've been doing right there. Granted, that's a 100-point range, but push back up here to the 9-10s again. 60-point move back up from that last drop. Almost think we got to see a little rejection right here, a little pullback, but maybe she wants to pump now. 5 closes in 45 seconds. If it breaks the range, there'll be a lot of power behind it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think if we can push above those 920s, 940s, pretty good little move right here. We kind of held that middle, kind of that 64 pivot, which is kind of the center. If this was our little chop box. So I think we got to get a little pullback right here, though. I don't want it to be too big. See if it rejects right here off this 914 area. Nice push back through. Bull flag kind of playing out. 5's still a little early. 15's a little early, but it ate that whole thing back up, so. Almost like to try a short right here, but if we were dancing with 20-point candles to push out of the range, it will be more likely violent with massive amounts of volume in either direction. Yeah, I agree for sure, yeah. Yeah, violent with massive amounts of volume, yeah. I think that's why we keep having those big pullbacks, right? Just really stopping a lot of those bulls out. Kind of this 910 is a big place to be. I just don't know if it can hold or not. Kind of want to try one, but that 5's kind of pulling back. Maybe 905. If it would find support right there. Yeah, see it pushed right through it. I mean, I said we need to get a pullback, so I'm kind of believing in that. If we can hold that 905, I'll be a player right here. I'll kind of target those 930s again, see if we can't get that push up. Kind of trying to hold it. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again right there, guys. Got it just a hair before that 905. See if we can get a fast push to those 30s. Fear of missing out's definitely real. Hopefully that's a little bull flag playing out. May not be. If we don't make a new high here, we'll be done again. I'm hoping Zero Dawn's right, and I hope it's to the upside. And we get a massive volume push through here. I think 40 and then maybe 50. Look at that. There's one coming on. Come on. Giddy up. Oh, come on. Give it to me. If I put stops down there, they're going to come get them. Once the market sees that's where I'm at. Look at that, though, guys. Look how close that was. Oh, my Lanta. I'm going to go ahead and take one off right there. Get a little bit out of it that way. Look at that, though. Right back down. Alright, we're going to move this to the 40s if it comes back. I'm going to put my stop at the bottom of that previous wick now, so. Oh, I can't believe it missed one of mine by 1 point. This sure would make lunch a lot better if it just go. Just no follow through. I mean, look at that 5. Now it's going to go probably. If it pushes back up to that 905, I'll get right back in it. Oh, look at that. Crazy drop. How many people did that stop out? I'm a little scared. I'm going to try one right there. Stop below this wick just in case it comes back down. Push right back up to the 900s. Yeah. Shucks, guys. I'm trying for you. I'm trying for you. Still up about 1,300 for the day on this account. Oh. Man, that 5 just looks terrible. Tell me not to go long again. The 1 minute though saying you can catch this knife. You can catch this knife. Am I right? All right, if it touches those 65-ish, little quick wick, I may try to grab one. I don't know. I don't know if it'll give me one. Do I want to try that? I'll try one at the 70s. See if we get that 50-second push coming up. If I do, my stop will be 60s. I'll target the 80s maybe, just a quick 10 points. Oh, okay. What to do, Chad? What to do? Do we try right there? Maybe just one? We're going to put our stop below this wick here. Need about 10 points on this one, and I'll rotate accounts. So takes courage and we're trying to call out trades and explain your thoughts behind the trades. A lot too many flippers don't show or explain anything. Yeah, and that's why I kind of want to make my channel different. I mean, I like to be able to learn and grow together. And if y'all can give me your thoughts and comments and they're nice, then we'll all get along and we'll learn something and we'll kind of trade together, ride together, you know. But I want y'all to know what I'm doing. I mean, the businesses I have, you know, we teach our guys, we make sure they understand. So kind of want to make myself a little bit different in that aspect. And just all have fun. So here we go. Here's that little push. Really need those 81s. Oh, look at that wick, guys. Almost had it. Come on. Giddy up. Giddy up. Come on. Come on, NQ. You've been doing this to me all day long. Go get it. There you go. That a baby. All right, guys. 15-11 for the day on this one. Gonna close this one out. Start another one. Zero Dawn's right, man. I mean, tell your friends. I mean, we're just here to have fun, trade, learn. I mean, me and Greg over at Sink or Swim, you know, he was on the BDH a couple months ago. we've been doing morning live on his every morning, so having a lot of fun there. But I want this to be a channel we can learn on and have some fun. Of course, always make some money, right? I appreciate Zero Dawn really coming on here, stepping up, talking to me, explaining some of his EMAs. There's our 5. You know, we had that nice 50-second push. I don't know how long you've been here, Zero Dawn, but I really talk about that 50-second push a lot. I really truly believe that last 5 minutes, or the last minute on the 5-minute candle, we usually get a push if we're going to stay bullish, and it's a pretty good push. So if I like the candle setup, we'll take that trade every time. I don't know if anybody's ever trademarked that or not, but I call it the 50-second push. If you can see it played out real nice right here, we really got that nice push up. So the road to the 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know, there's a couple times I got on here and talked to myself for a couple hours. So and I don't even really listen to the radio in my truck, so talking to myself isn't very easy. Our 5 and 15 really aren't telling us much, guys. There's the 5. There's the 15. There's our 1 hour making a nice recovery there. Kind of had that nice little pullback, nice little inversion. You'd think this inversion, though, would push us over these highs. I've tried that 930 twice, though, and it hadn't given it to me. Yeah, Zero Dawn says he's a lurker in the chat for a while. Figured I'd come forth in the darkness of my YouTube cave and say something in the chat. Man, I really appreciate it. So, you know, we usually have a couple other guys on here, Miguel and some of those guys, but haven't seen them in here today. There's several people watching right now, so. And who knows, Zero Dawn? I mean, you stepped out of the cave a little bit. Maybe we can have you on one day. All right, that 5 minute didn't really close like I wanted it to. Kind of wanted to have a little body, but if it would have come down here and test these 88s like it just is right now, I may try a little long off of that. And it bounced real fast for me, so I really didn't get in. I don't want to really be in up at the top of that. I'll try one just for the sake, right there at the 900s. Just for the sake of the stream. So in at 8.99. Still going to target these 30s. Come on. Fast push. Let's target these 40s. Think we can get 40 points out of it right now? Maybe not. I'm going to add into this if it comes back down. I'm going to add one right there for fun. I'm going to set both of my stops right here at break even real quick. So if it comes back to the bottom of this wick, we'll regroup. And then I'm going to see if we can get these 930s. Come on, give me the 930s. Come on. Alright, I took one off, so now I'm mad. I do like your 5-minute theory with the last 50 seconds. I'm going to look into that in the future. Yeah, just start looking at that 5-minute. You know, I don't know if anybody can see it in my overhead deal. But if you look at my overhead, no, you really can't see it. Let me see if I can move this camera a little bit. So if y'all can see my little cave right here I got a big O atomic clock. It stopped me out right there, but I got a big O atomic clock. And I use that thing because I can see the seconds fast. It stays with the time. And I keep an eye on it. And as soon as I get to that 9, coming up on 2 minutes right now to close the 5, so I'll look at it, but we can kind of watch right here and see, if we don't get that 50-second push, then we usually have a big downside coming. But same with the 15 and stuff like that if you look farther out. But, they always try to push those 15s, the 30s. They try to push all of those, so. Let's just see if we can get it. Yeah, it's just a big clock. You hook it to your Wi-Fi. That sucker's it's almost a 2-inch big clock, so you can see it real fast. It's right above my main screen, so I can see it. I trade with my middle screen and my right screen a lot. I have my trading view on my left screen, so we're getting a little pullback right here. So here's our deal. So now we're moving into our 50 seconds, about 3 seconds. So here starts our 50 seconds. So if we get a push up, we're gonna keep going. We get this push down, we're gonna have some definite down momentum. But let's see if they're gonna try to save this candle or not. We're also right here at that 918 where we kind of drew that channel. So the 5-minute still closing green overall. They're really trying to close this one candle green though. So we're getting that hard push. Yeah, see that big push we're getting? Didn't happen quite. I mean, it's almost, a lot of times it's always 45 to 50 seconds before that close of that candle. But see, look at that close. So this one I kind of expect a little retracement down and then a push straight up. But I'd like it to come down a little bit farther, but I don't know if y'all noticed, but it's coming up on those 930s now, so. And then our 5-minute, of course. Now we're going to maybe use this 917 as support, maybe. Maybe this 915. May try one right there if it holds for a second, or if it wicks through it. So we'll see what happens there. Came back up pretty fast. Stops about 10 points below. And now if we look back, can't really see anything there. If we look back on a 5, I kind of expect 941 is the top of another wick. So I'll set it just a hair below that. Now we're kind of forming a downtrend here, so. See, on the 5, which I wanted, I don't know if we wanted, I wanted a retracement. I want this 17 to hold, but really a retracement half of this candle, 905, 908, 910 area. But the way it pushed up real fast, I kind of just jumped in a little early, but we'll see if we can get that push one way or another. Every time I'm not in a trade, somebody will pop on and say, "Do you trade at all?" Or everybody wants to be a nice, quick follower if I'm trading or if you're in a trade. We don't want them to. We don't want them to take trades we're trading. I want people to understand why I took the trade, and if they feel good in it, then they take that trade. Up about 7 points right there. No really wick on this bottom 1 minute, so it's not a for sure. Really want it to get above that 27, 28 area is a booger. If we can get above it, I think we could rip to the 40s pretty easy. Well, at least got to hit my 30 at one point. There you go. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Come on. Come on. Push up there. There you go. Look at that. Can we get a little more out of it? Let's go to 50. I'm going to trail this right here. Nope, it's going to pull right back. All right, let's keep this down here. Probably should have just took that off. Yeah, I hope this is the break of the structure. You know, I really thought it was going to wick through that 41 just because this 5 minute. We have that wick up here. So I really thought we were going to beat it, but just no follow through. Right back down. I mean, if anybody took that trade and was smart enough to get out, I think we had about 20, 22 points. Got a 15-minute fixing to close. It looks pretty nasty. Pulled right back to the 21 though. Is that 910 going to be our support now? Man, after a wick down like that, you're just scared to do anything, aren't you? Let me try one at the 910s. Let this candle close. See if we get a push back up or not. If we get a push up, I'll be in around 910. If it'll let me have it. There's a push up. Let's see if we can get continuation now. Got 2 of them. There's 10 points, guys. I'm going to take one off right there. Let this one run a little bit. So we got 200 bucks. Guaranteed 60 on this one if it comes back down. Must sound like a broken record, but let's see if we can get above 41 if it don't stop me out. There's our 27, 28 area. There's our 30s. So guys, we're up about 18 points right now. If anybody got in with me, I'd take some off. Here's the push right back down. Can we target these 50s? Is that too big of a target? I don't know if there's any confluence there at those 50s. Yeah, the top wick of that last big red candle, my 10-15 candle, probably y'all's 11-15, was 950.75. Probably won't give it to us, but let's see if we can get 950 exactly. In at the 912s, up 22 points right now. Targeting 950 if we can break through these 40s. On a 15 minute, we got our 21 at 969. Getting some rejection there. That might be over. Might be all we had, chat. Our 5 minute doesn't have a wick at the bottom, so that worries me a little bit. If it has to come back and make that little wick. Again, guys, we had two. I took one off at 10 points, so got 200 bucks out of the trade. Got this one set at 3 points profit. So worst case, we make 260 on this trade. Smart thing, I could take it off right now, make another 400, make 600, but yeah, it's going to come right back to our 21 probably. Let's see if our 920s hold. Can we get a bull flag to play out for us just one time? Just one time, chat. We just don't have any momentum, guys. Come on. Our 50-second push has been working out for us right here, but so as long as we don't get too big of a pullback when this candle closes. Now push straight up. Let's go. Giddy up. Come on. Come on, chat. Come on, we got to go break those highs. Come on. Come on. Push, baby. There you go. There's the 40s. Come on. Giddy up. Giddy up, chat. All right, guaranteed 20 points right here. Come on, push, baby. Right back down, chat. Look at that. Look at that. Stopped out. Hey, we got 20 points. Man, we gave it a good run. Oh, look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Do you see how it stalled out at the 45s? That's the only reason I kind of trailed it a little bit. Wow. Now I bet we get pushed through the 50s. Just cleared out a lot of bulls. Those market makers, I tell you guys. Kind of have a little doji now on the 5 minute. But see how we came back? We didn't have a tail on this 5 minute candle. We came back in here and made that. See how we made that wick now on that? So we fixed all this previous candle. Now we have wicks everywhere. Beautiful move. Yeah, Zero Dawn. I don't know if anybody ever does that, but me and a buddy that trade together here sometimes in my tack room, we always call it the 50-second push. So we've been using that for a year or two now. So if nobody's patented that, I better get a t-shirt made for it. All right, if this can hold right here, I may try the 20s again. That wick down really made me nervous though. But I'll try at the 20s if it pushes back up through it. That's why we didn't do anything yet, chat. Yeah, sure. Check it out and let me know what you think, man. I mean, stop in here. Let me know if you think you're seeing the same thing on it. So I'm going to try at the 10s, guys. Maybe. Yeah, got me in there. It filled me. My stop is going to be 903, 900, I guess, if it wicks back through. Let me just switch off. I start watching Trading View and don't ever realize I'm not in the right one, so. Okay, now I'm kind of watching, noticing our 1 minute don't have a wick at the bottom. So I want to pay real close attention to that, make sure it doesn't come back to it. If it comes back to it, it's probably going to wick back through that 911s. I'm going to go ahead and set a stop right there. Yeah. That was the wick that I didn't want to happen. Now I think we get a pullback. Yeah, see how it wicks down real fast trying to make that wick. I think it's got to make a little bit bigger one. The 5 minute has a setup. Getting our EMAs crossing over kind of. So may have to come down here to the 900s, 902s. If we're going to stay long. Give me just a second, guys. All right, thanks, guys. Saw a big green candle when I started walking off, but then it came back and it's red, huh? Not in anything right now. On the 5, if we can get this wick through the, I don't know, I think we need to come down to 890, 895 maybe, kind of right in, well, right there where it just did, so. If it comes back up to that 905, I'll be a player again. There we go. Put me right in. just entered me immediately. I'll take one off at the top of this shoulder maybe. If it gives it to me, I'll save a runner. Oof, is it going to come right back down? Should give us those 922s pretty easy, guys. Come on. Well, too finicky. Getting a little volatility coming in here with this last 5-minute candle of the 1 o'clock coming into our 2 o'clock. I'm going to move to the bottom of that wick there. There's our push. Come on. Come on. Should wick through there. Come on. Giddy up. Ah. Come on. Yeah, it sells it right back off as soon as it touches that 21. Come on. Oh. Come on, chat. There we go. There's one. Look at that. I'm just going to trail this other one. And out. Hey, nice little trade, guys. Zero Don's been here talking with me, talking through some of the stuff. Hopefully the questions he asked answered a lot of questions for y'all. Made $1,500 on one account a while ago. Opened this account at $13.25 on it right now. Come on. Trading Cowboy. Riding those candles. Oh, look at that. Look at that, Zero Don. Wow. Look at that flush. Golly. Pulled right back up. Wow. Wowzer, wowzer. Do you try one at the 900s? Are we trying to catch a knife? Huge pushback up right here. What a wick down. All right, sorry guys, had to take care of some business. Hey Miguel, how's it going? Are you still here with me, buddy? Getting a nice little crew of outlaws together, that's for sure. Man, what'd y'all let this thing do? I looked over, it was making the perfect little bull flag, rocking and rolling, and then just kaboom. Now we're kind of coming up, making a little bull flag again, maybe. Excuse me, guys. Little scared to do anything right here. Oh, wow. Yeah, Miguel, you missed some of it. Me and Zero Dawn had a really good conversation and stuff. Need to go back and read through some of the chat. So, or go rewatch us. Do us a favor. I mean, Power Hour is definitely living up to its name right now, huh? Still pushing down. Kind of wait for these 60 area, 70 area, see if that's going to be support. Potential for overall larger bear flag, not to be Debbie Downer. Yeah, I know it. I mean, yeah, when you look, even when you look at a 15-minute, let me get some of my lines off of here. Kind of had this from earlier. But yeah, look at that. Nice 15-minute bear flag. See if we get a little bounce of 65 right here. We don't need too much. Kind of need these 75s. That would finish this account for the day. Kind of show y'all where we're at. Is it finished? Is it going to go up? Nope, no push. Yeah, it's currently executing for sure. I think that's why I'm trying to catch it again. I haven't learned my lesson. That's a fact. What do we have on? Yeah, beautiful on the 15-minute. Look at that. I don't know if we'll catch any support right there. May try at the 60s again, but yeah, even on the hourly. I mean, look, that's a huge time frame on the hourly, right? Still getting that bear play out. Getting a little caboose into the bottom. Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, because that's the same line I drew off the 15 minutes. So, yeah, you're exactly right. Exactly right. Kind of like the bounce here if we get a little wick through, maybe. See if it can push back up into the 55s. Oh, shoot. Got it right there. Maybe take it off at the top of that shoulder. Maybe at that wick. Should have took it at that wick there. Let's set this stop in case it comes back down. Yeah, there's a 63, so. Good little push just off Zero Dawn's call out. And then if you look back here, we had this little 113, 114 candle. We wicked through it, kind of cleaned it up, but we had all this support back here. Yeah, the 130, so I'm sure that's what the 130 is my 1230, I think. I think I'm an hour behind y'all on my chart, so yeah, so I just grabbed one off that right there. Actually, didn't take it off quite good enough. We need $4 more, guys, to be 50% on this one right here. So we need 1 point. But yeah, good call out, Zero Dawn. It's for sure playing out. Kind of hard to see that chart, isn't it, a little bit? There's kind of the pullback right back above it. Bulls definitely don't want it to go down there because they know there's a lot of downside to that. So temporary low will be 855. You can see that 5-minute push right back above it. Nice little pushback. Maybe could see 75s. I don't know if we can get up to that 83. The bounces you were calling playing well for you. Yeah, and I mean, I went off exactly what you said, Zero Dawn, and then I just kind of looked back to the left. And so we bounced off of it here earlier. So I knew we were going to probably try to wick through it. And then so I looked farther back. And if you look at all this trash, I call it trash, but we had all this right here. We had all these bodies here. We had them back here in the previous right here. So I thought, okay, that's a pretty good support level, that 53s. I mean, the second it hit it, I tried to buy it. I think I ended up getting it at 50 or 51. And then it came right back up to that 51 body. So I really liked that. Now we're kind of seeing that 55 as a, I call it a low. It's probably just a temporary low. But we're getting a nice little push now. We got to our 70s, which I like off of that shoulder. A lot of times what I like to see is when we execute and go long, I'll focus on these shoulders. So 67, 71, and then the top of this. After I look at that one, I go straight to the 21. So, 82, 83 if we wick through there. 5 looked a little bit better a while ago when I was trying to explain that, but a while ago this 5 was pushing up pretty good, so now we're getting a little pullback, but maybe catching a knife, but I always focus on those nice quick moves if there's support to the left. I wouldn't be surprised though on a 5-minute. I'm going to sneeze again, guys. Excuse me. On a 5-minute, we still have some of this. Have that 853 area. Excuse me, guys. Hey, Miguel. How's your day going, Cowboy? Man, good now. Me and Zero Don's really been trading pretty well right here. He's been helping me out a bunch. Um, got chewed up today on a couple of my fundeds, but nothing we couldn't handle. We just locked them out. May set off some of the fundeds for a day or two, but we'll see. Wow, got the sneezes, guys. Excuse me. Really don't think this will be an inversion back to the upside. How's your day, Miguel? Man, I fought that downtrend the whole way down. Caught a couple real nice bangers this afternoon, though. Wowzer. What are my risk parameters? Yeah, Zero Dawn, I get pretty tilted on my fundeds pretty fast. So once I get them funded, depending on what it is, if it's got trailing drawdown or not, I'll go pretty hard on them the first day, maybe the first 2 days. But I'll try to get them above the buffer pretty fast, and then I really take my time on them. But as far as like the first day, I'll give myself about half of the drawdown. So $800 to $1,000 is kind of my limit. Um, Kind of got that from Apex when I was trading Apex. You know, that 600, 650 was kind of that max drawdown, that 30%. You know, you're kind of looking at your 700s. So I kind of stick to that still. So Apex kind of helped me out there. But um, if I get them into the buffer, like you say, I'm on Lucid and it doesn't really have a trailing drawdown. I'll push it pretty hard the first day or two. Try to get them above the buffer, and then I'll take it easy. Once I get them above the buffer, I'll focus on making 2 to 500 a day on them, pretty consistent, and then my stop will be that $500 range kind of. So but I do get tilted real easy. So if I get down 500, I'll think, well, one more trade I can do better. But I'll rotate accounts a lot too. So um, example, I'll lose 500 on one. I'll shut it off, go to another funded. Um, Try to tell myself to wait a little bit. I try not to catch knives like I do on my evals for sure. So um, I would buy a real fast wick. Um, for example, that 110 candle we had a while ago, I would have bought that one on a funded because it was a big, fast, huge drop wick. I would have bought one, and I would have gave it, I would have gave it 15 points, 20 points. Um, it's got to be the right momentum, the right speed for it, and I've got to have that chart pulled up. So, um, but yeah, I'll just rotate right through. Yeah, I'll always answer any question over and over again. Here's another little good support, the 820s, if it would hold. I'd be a buyer at the 825s. My stop would be 8 818 maybe, so 7 points. If I was trying to catch it, I'd be looking for the 830 35s. So perfect play out right there. I mean, there's 10 points easy right off the 825s. Just looking back to the left, right? Well, I'm not even on that screen. Look at that bear flag just melting in the queue. Yeah, yeah. And when we're getting those drops like that, and that's where I wouldn't be doing this on my funded, but I know we're going to have bounces at some of those key support areas. So I look for 10, 15 point moves real fast right there. Um, if we're playing a funded and I get in right, I kind of believe, I don't know if I would have caught this whole move, but I would have been a buyer. I would have been short at the 862, 865s. And I would have let this drop. I would have had my stop above 872. So about a $200 stop. And I would have let this ride, at least to the 850s. Once it broke the 850s, I would have just let this thing ride forever, which would have been perfect. I mean, that would have been a nice 40-point move. I play a little more guarded on my fundeds probably. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people call them dead cat bounces, but if I can see some support, if I see a lot of movement before that, especially if it's the bottom of the wicks, I think there's some more support down here at the 815s. You can see where this 1219 candle, I like that dip there. I like that candle for support. And then it came back and had that same support there, had it previous. So that's just kind of the bounces I look for on evals. Not my number one setup, but one that I kind of follow. This 25 is really holding well. Could have took 10 points off of it a while ago. Just calling out some of the plays I would take right now. I wouldn't call them out if I wouldn't take them, though. Probably going to hop off here in about 7 to 10 minutes, probably. All right, here's our 815, 817 bounce. So I'm expecting a little bounce right here. It could wick through these 811s. So, I mean, I'd be a buyer at 815. My stop would be 808. And I'd expect 825s back. So there's our 815. Almost our 825. Almost to the T, 10 points. Probably too fast to get 8 or 9, but guy could have grabbed 5 out of it. Still in it if you're still holding. There's the 825s. Right back up there. Yeah, let's go, Miguel. So now in theory, there's kind of our 50-second push we're getting zeroed on. Getting that real nice push. If it can close up here, yeah, it's pulling right back. If it could close up there at that 22, then I would have been looking for a nice little push back up. I'd have looked for this candle to retrace, but I think we got a little more downside coming now. I hope you're riding these shorts. I'm a bull at heart, so if I could turn my monitor totally over, then I probably could play these shorts, but okay, we found support there again. We kind of wicked through it. I grabbed it at 890. Yeah, that a baby. Wow. That's freaking awesome. What a ride then. That would have been a good call out for us, Zero Dawn. You could have gave us your entry and your stop and your TP. But yeah, I'm glad you got at that 890. Wow. Right at the 90 MA injection on the 1 minute. Yeah, I'll put that on here tomorrow. We'll kind of watch it tomorrow. I've just always played with a 21, but I'll let it wick through it so much. So I'll let it wick through 5-10 points. So I bet your nine's probably exactly where I watch it to go to. Kind of stalling out a little bit right here. We're kind of starting to stair step. Maybe this could be the bottom, but we got our 230 candle coming, so we got a lot of our Robin Hooders stepping in. I mean, that 800's our bottom. Are we going to flush through the 800s, or are they going to stop it before then? Okay, there's the little push down, so I'd be a buyer at 18. And I'd be targeting right now, I'd be targeting 840 is what I would be targeting for this little long pullback. My stop would be below the low at 808, sort of for 10 points. So I'd be in right here, targeting the 840s. Stop below the low right there. Our 5 minute. 5 minute tells you not to do anything long, right? 15 still pushing down real hard. There's that 819, 820 support trying to hold. I hope we get that flush through 800 for you. No, I need you to call them out, man. I mean, I want to see what the different influence is on everybody, right? Didn't quite hit my stop, my mental stop. It's back to where my break even is. 818 was going to be my mental entry. My stop 10 points down at 808, but it just can't push above that. So, and I'll try not to read them, Zero Dawn. If you call out a trade and it don't work, I'll try not to read it out loud. But it's playing out beautiful for you right now. I'm glad for you. That's a super good trade from the 890s. Isn't it amazing too how we drew this top? Look at there. There's your flush through the 800s. Perfect call out, Zero Dawn. Beautiful trade. There was a 15-minute close. Pushed right up right off the bat. Really think we may have a little more continuation kind of the way that pushed, but wick through the lows, so nice big push back up, guys. Still pushing. Hey, that's beautiful. That's a little over 100 points from your entry, Zero Dawn. Great trade. Nice little push down here. It'd be a buyer at the 96s. Stop below the 80s. I'd target that 825 now, so. Here comes our little 50 seconds. See if we get that push or that rejection. There's the push. So definitely going to the 21 probably the way that push worked out. About 35 seconds left. Still trying to get that push. Got that 810 area as kind of rejection, so. Gave us that push, but not going to close green, so. But we had a nice little 10-point push off that 50 seconds. Got out at 800. Man, hey, that's exactly where I would have took it off as soon as it wicked through those lows. Man, I wouldn't have waited for it. I would have been afraid it would have bounced up, and it kind of bounced up a little bit, but man, great trade again. I mean, phenomenal trade. Super proud for you for sure. I love to see that. We want everybody to win, guys. Looks like we could get that push back to the 21 if we could get this one to close kind of green right here. Want that to close right there. Pull back halfway. Pull back to the 810s. Heck yeah, trailing 25 points at a time. So not to be negative. Yeah, isn't that a great feeling though when you can trail at 25 points? I mean, sometimes I do 5 points, but man, if you can trail at 25 points, man, that feels good for sure. For sure feels good. There's our 810 pullback. See if we can get that push up to the 25s now. This is kind of my main setup right here if I was in right here, guys, but we've already took 2 evals from 0 to 1500 apiece, so just kind of calling out what I would do. Y'all kind of know my setup if you've been here for a while. It didn't work at all today, so. Oh, I have to because of how many counts I trade at a time. Yeah. Okay. Still phenomenal trade on that though. Especially if you're copy trading. Come on, guys. Nice little bull flag playing out. Fixing the wick through our 25, I think. Through the 21 right to our 25, which would have been our TP. 30-point call out, maybe. I know you don't like it because I'm not in it, but yeah, when it goes against you, you feel like I got pimp slapped by the market. Yeah, I definitely got that this morning, so I had to go get all my friends and come back and revenge it, so made it scream a little bit, but like I said, I'm super competitive, get tilted real easy, so my fundeds, I gotta just lock them out sometimes. Well, let's go hit that 25 and we'll call it a day. It touched the 21 at 820s, 821, something like that. I'm going to get a little pullback now. See if this 50 seconds does us any good right here. Here's our 50 seconds on our 5-minute close. Pushes down, so that's going to show some real weakness. So we may get a little flush. Usually when this last 50-second goes, it's an instant push up. So didn't get that, so I doubt they close this candle green right here. Yeah, thanks, man. I get really. I mean, I'm easily. I mean, I could blow up every account I have in a heartbeat. So, and not even feel bad about it, probably. All right, guys. Here comes our 825 push. There's 825. Yoda had to stay in that trade a little bit. We called it out at 795. Stop was below 780. Would have been a nice little good trade. We're done for the day. Let me pull up and show you some receipts here so we don't think we're full of it. Me and Zero Dawn's been here the whole time. There's the 2 little evals we worked on. Maybe we can finish them up tomorrow. Got one to 1582, one to 1511. Not hiding anything, guys. There's the receipts for our action. We showed you yesterday. We made 2702 on a funded. Always going to show you, come in, show you the receipts when we can. Still pushing back up. I'm going to be out of here for now, guys. Hey, Zero Dawn, I don't know if you're on Instagram. Search the Trading Cowboy. Link up with me. Maybe we can share some more ideas. In the morning, I'm over on Greg's channel over at Sink or Swim. If you want to YouTube his channel, we get on about 10 minutes before market open. Sometimes right at market, but have a good time over there. Definitely check us out. Anybody here, like and subscribe if you like what we did today. Wrote a lot of longs today. Made a little bit of money. Watched Zero Dawn's traded it play out for 90 points. So getting a good little community here. A lot of us outlaws here together, so come see us. Happy trading, guys. Happy trails. Remember, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, 0 Day.
When the market gets wild, only one man rides it, the Trading Cowboy.
Boots on the floor, screen lights glow. Chart like an open road, get it up, let's go. I'm the Trading Cowboy, stocks are my thing, and Q on the dashboard, hear that bell ring. Bear flags, bull flags, a rope and I brand. This could be the best 8 seconds ever hit this land.